The IDP system matches the day rate of a dual cold tube unit. But with this system we get faster operation in terms of mobilization and deployment and retrieval, and also we're able to pump at twice the speed that you would do with a cold tube unit. And the reason for that higher speed is the diameter of our pipe and also the smooth bore made by the Victrex liner. This gives us the ability to deliver a lot of fluid in a much shorter period of time than you could do with coiled tube. And then in addition you have the lower risk of fatigue failures. This is a very high spec piece of kit and there's also always a tendency for people to say I don't need that. But really when you look at it, this piece of equipment and the system that goes with it allows you to reduce your risk. And the important thing there is that it gives you the flexibility to accommodate problems that always occur offshore. Whether it's weather problems, operational issues with other equipment, it allows you to complete the job you went out to do on time and on budget. So the operational flexibility and the reduced risk this piece of kit gives you certainly means that it's worth seriously considering, even though you may think that it's above the specification that you need. If you can get a higher spec piece of kit for the same day rate as you're normally using, then it always makes sense to take it. And the reason for that is that the performance of this equipment will significantly reduce your risk offshore. If you have problems with weather, this will allow you to continue to operate and to complete the job and deliver to your client on time and on budget. And that's really important. If you've got vessels that can run coiled tubing, you have a vessel which can operate with this IDP. The size, the weight, the facilities that are needed to run the IDP are exactly the same as a coiled tube unit. So we can swap out coiled tube for IDP very easily and then take advantages that the IDP can offer you in terms of speed of operation. The IDP simplifies everything from the point that you lift it onto the vessel and mobilize it, but more importantly offshore operations. We have a single piece of kit to do the job instead of with coiled tubing having to bring together a number of coils, a number of operating systems to manage them, a number of overboarding and managing the coiled tubing in the water as well. So a single pipe, a single system reduces the risk of problems offshore. This 3-inch pipe has been designed specifically for pumping operations. Before we designed the pipe, we went to look at what the pipe would need to do in all the pumping operations it would see, and then we built the pipe around that requirement. Then in parallel with that, we've done an enormous amount of testing in-house to look at all aspects of the pipe and prove the pipe will perform reliably. And that's been done in accordance with the DNV TCP guidelines. This has been witnessed by a number of external parties and we're very comfortable with the performance that we've seen with the pipe. When that pipe is then put onto this IDP system, we are 100% certain that this pipe will perform in the way we expect it to do so. Magma has looked at the IDP system and importantly the performance of the pipe and the global structure in the water column. And what we wanted to make sure of is that we don't have a system which will just work for one set of scenarios, but a system that will run for a very broad range of water depths, environments and vessel motions. And for this we went to RiserTec and we asked them to do a very broad study. The outcome of that study is very positive. What it shows us is the system can be used in a very broad range of water depths, current profiles, wave directions and wave heights. And what this means is if we go offshore to operate the system and find that the environment changes during the course of that operation, we have the ability to accommodate that change without having to terminate operations and maybe come back at another time. Again, this allows us to deliver the project to the customer on time at the budget that's defined.